Lately, I've been struggling with burnout and the fact that I should be taking breaks, but I don't want to until burnout sort of forces it on me. And I know from talking to a lot of you in the comments that I'm not the only one who struggles with this. We have this hustle culture that says we have to keep going all the time or we will quote unquote fall behind. Tell me if you relate to this. I feel like I need to constantly be doing something, putting out a YouTube video every single week, write X number of books a year, write every single day, post on social media, market our books every single day, whatever. There's definitely some fear driving it. This fear that if we stop, running the hamster wheel, it's all going to fall apart, whatever that means. And I noticed it in myself recently. My YouTube channel was doing so well that I didn't want to take a break because I might lose momentum. Meanwhile, at the very same time, I haven't had the energy or ability to market my books in a year, so my sales are absolutely terrible. And my mindset there is, well, I shouldn't take a break because then the sales will just get worse, so I should show up more. And I started laughing when I realized these two conflicting ideas were existing at the same time because there's literally no winning. If I'm doing well, I can't stop. But if I'm doing poorly, I also can't stop. The problem is I don't think as humans we're meant to work nonstop like this. What if we were designed to be a lot more seasonal? What if we were designed to need breaks and to actually need seasons of rest? Let me put it this way. In Minnesota, where I live, we have really drastic seasons. In the winter, it gets way below zero and you feel like you're living in a freezer and you pretty much don't go outside ever. While in the summer, like just the other day, it was over 90 degrees. And technically, it's not even summer yet. You see a lot of change in our seasons here because in the summer, nature is thriving. But in the winter, everything just stops. It takes a full break. And I think as humans, we're meant to live more seasonally like that as well. Let me try to use a few examples from my own life to paint a picture. I know a few times in the past I've actually mentioned this idea of seasonal content before, specifically when I was talking about YouTube, the same way that Netflix will release one season of a show at a time with however many episodes on it, and then they'll take a break, and then they'll come back with another season, and so on. And I've shared in the past that I would love to take this approach to YouTube as well, where I take regular intentional breaks between seasons of content. I wasn't sure exactly when those breaks would need to be or how long they needed to be, though, to be honest. So in a case like this, all I could really do is experiment and find out. So I did this kind of by accident because I had maternity leave over the winter and I came back to YouTube in mid-February. It's now mid-May, so it's been exactly 3 months, and I was starting to feel burnout like crazy. It sort of hit me out of nowhere, to be honest. I didn't even know exactly what to do about it because I had all these big plans, but I was slowly winding down, like doing less and less every day. I just couldn't bring myself to do anything. And so I ended up taking a week off of making videos completely by accident. Funny enough, that seemed long enough for me to start getting excited about making videos again. So in this example, if I was going to experiment a second time, I would probably shorten it to doing videos for 2.5 months instead of 3, and then maybe take 2 intentional weeks off before the burnout ever came. I can't say for sure if that would be my ideal sort of season length, so to speak, or if that's just what I need in this current season of life with a 4-month-old and a toddler, because I'm gonna admit it's very possible that I'm burning out faster in the season of life for obvious reasons. Another example for me personally is that I'm finding social media also burns me out way more than it used to. I just cannot make myself do it every day. So I'm picturing, what if I went back to something that I used to do a lot in the past, which was preparing a ton of content, whether for a week or even for the whole month, all in one day. And then I don't have to worry about it the rest of the week or the rest of the month. And this way I don't have to consistently keep coming up with something brand new every single day because that's just overwhelming. So that sort of on again, off again type of seasons is one way I want to adopt this approach, where I don't try to do it all at once. I work hard for a set amount of time, however long that might be, then I stop for a set amount of time, and they're both really intentional. But the other way I want to bring this seasonal concept into my life and into my work, it's less about avoiding burnout and more about getting more focused and getting more effective at what I am doing. The best way I can describe this for you is, again, to use my YouTube channel and then my writing. So if you've seen my other videos, you know I've been working on a project that I jokingly call the Butter Book, which I describe as the TV show Friends meets ACOTAR meets Beauty and the Beast retelling in a fae world. So I'm writing this book, but I obviously also still have this YouTube channel, and a typical YouTuber tends to post a video once a week. In my ideal world, these two things would go together perfectly, and I would do writing vlogs all the time. I would just write the Butter Book and vlog about it, and it would be the absolute best use of my time. Writing vlogs are my favorite content to watch because they never fail to inspire me. When I see another writer working on their story, I get so excited to work on mine. But when it comes to actually vlogging my own journey, I always struggle because, especially with the first draft, it's taking and diverting too much of my creativity to another project, to the YouTube video, when I need all of it for writing my books. Now, before you go judging me, I swear I've written a lot of books. I am capable, but everybody has a max capacity of how much creativity they have in a day. And again, if I'm diverting a lot of that energy to thinking about how am I going to explain this on my video? How am I going to set up this shot? How am I going to edit it later, etc., etc. YouTube videos are basically storytelling in a different way. And I'm pulling from a very limited resource of my creativity and taking away from what I could have put into my book. Add to that the fact that I have kids, which, you know, I don't know if they take a lot of creativity, but they definitely suck a lot of energy out of you. And I just have less to give. So if I take off my blinders, it's pretty obvious what I need to do. I can see very, very clearly that I need to have seasons for writing and seasons for YouTube, and they cannot keep overlapping. And honestly, this is true for other things as well. But if I want to keep writing and keep doing this YouTube channel, I need to find a new way to do it. And I'm really excited because I do think that the answer is seasons, including, to come back to avoiding burnout, always including a season of rest every so often. And I just want to find my ideal rotation, I guess you could say. Here's what I'm picturing for myself going forward as I try out this concept of seasons and sort of experiment with how I could apply it. I think best case scenario, because I'm in burnout, I would want to start with a season of rest, but because I didn't plan ahead, that would mean dropping the ball on a lot of things that I just don't want to drop. For example, I just launched new merch, and because I'm in burnout, I've barely shared it, but I would really love to at least do a video about the quality, like a quality review, when my products arrive in the mail and share that with you guys. Or there's the fact that InkersCon is coming up in June. I think it starts on June 7th, if I remember right, and I am so excited to attend it, but I'm also an affiliate, and I did promise to share it at least a few more times, so I want to honor my word and follow through with that, especially because they gave me a $50 discount, so I don't want you guys to have to pay full price because I didn't take the time to tell you about that. And so I will actually, since I'm mentioning it right now, I will link that below and put my code for the discount next to the link as well. So that's time sensitive because obviously it's coming up, and so is the Midwest Bookish Fest, which is at the end of June. And I will be a signing author there with a ton of other awesome authors. So side note, since I'm mentioning this as well, if you live in the Midwest and you want to come to Minnesota for that, I will also link their Facebook page in the description box below because that is going to be super fun. And speaking of time-sensitive things, I have to finish getting the pre-order set up for that. And I should share it in my newsletter, along with the fact that I'm putting the Stolen Kingdom series into KU for the first time, just for fun to see how it goes. KU is Kindle Unlimited, by the way. And while I'm doing that, I was thinking I should probably do a video about it because that's a really big step to take and something that a lot of you would like to know why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it, because it's definitely a confusing process. So it kind of feels like that book called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, because everything is connected and I just keep finding that if I'm going to do this, then I want to do that, and then that leads to this and that. There's just so much I want to do that has sort of a time-sensitive nature to it. All that to say, because of all these fun events coming up and YouTube video ideas and all that good stuff, it almost feels more stressful than relaxing to take a break right now. So I thought maybe I should start with a sort of preparation season first. My goal here would be to determine what needs to be done before I go on break. So it would be a preparation season of putting together a lot of content. So a sort of content season, followed by a rest season, followed by a writing season, if that makes sense. If I could do that content creation first and get it done by, say, a certain date, kind of set a deadline, so to speak, then I could more easily step into a season of rest where I fully step back and I just prioritize just being for a bit, which is a really hard thing for me to do. When it comes to the season of rest, I've heard of something called a dopamine menu, and I thought I might try to bring that into play and see how that goes. From what I understand, a dopamine menu is a list of things that bring you joy that you can make in advance and then grab something off the list when you're having a hard day or when you just need a pick-me-up or whatever the case might be. I figured that probably would be helpful during burnout. So my thought is to make a list of all the different things that bring me joy. Obviously, reading is going to be top of my list, and I want to read a lot of books. I want to get outside a lot more, just be in the sunshine. I want to go for more walks. I want to get more sleep and just really be intentional. Even things like, honestly, workouts, because I do not love a workout up front, but do I feel good after? Yes. I'm not sure exactly how long I want this season of rest to go, but my hope is that I will start to naturally feel my creativity get refueled, refilled, whatever you want to call it, and that I will naturally move into the next season of writing or going into the writing cave. It's funny because I've heard that term a lot over the years, and now I get it because the very concept of going into a cave means you are blocking out everything else. You are getting really focused, and I think that's going to be crucial, especially for the next few years of my life, to start having focused writing times because I am easily distractible, okay? And it's so much easier to put content first because finishing a video can be done in a week. Finishing a social media post can be done in a day or an hour versus writing can take months. And it's just easier to put everything else before writing. And I do that all the time. I caught myself doing it when I started working on merch, and then I started working on YouTube videos, and then InkersCon is coming up, and the Midwest Bookish Fest, and there's always something. So what I'm picturing is that sort of rotation of content creation, a rest season, and then a writing season, and to hopefully in my content creation season, create enough that will carry over a little bit, but also be okay just stopping, because it's not the end of the world if I take a step back from YouTube videos or social media or whatever for a month to focus on the book. You might not need these types of seasons, or you might be able to overlap a little bit more, you know, like how, again, using the weather, yesterday it was in the 90s, today it's in the 50s. Sometimes there's overlap, it goes back and forth. Or maybe you could work in a more weekly type of season where each week is devoted to something, or even each day is devoted to something. So you could write one day and work on social media the next. It wouldn't bother you to bounce back and forth. But for me, I need to follow my intuition. I've been praying about it a lot, and I realized that I have to get more strict with myself or I won't rest and I won't write. I'll just keep doing the content creation hamster wheel, and it's not healthy. So that's pretty much what I have to share today. I hope it was encouraging to you. Let me know if you can relate. I would really love to know. And I think I will have a few more videos for you, but if you notice me taking time off and just not having videos for a month here and there going forward, now you know why.